But you know what? It made me think. I watched this series of reportage interviews called the Putin Papers, and there is Putin and the presidents, the different relationships between Putin and American presidents. And actually, the analysis that came out is that the biggest problem of Ukraine for Putin was exactly that this country, it's very close culturally to Russia. They're not the same country, but they're very like close. It's like Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Spanish. They're very close, but different people, you know? And by Ukraine, by turning more and more in a free country, in a democratic country, that there is a free market, that people start become more successful. Maybe the GDP per capita is higher. You can, if they join the EU, they can travel around Europe without any visa, without any border. This is gonna make an awakening moment in Russia. Because they will be like, what the fuck? Like, look at the Ukrainians. They are doing something different and they're much better than us. So if you're regime in power, you cannot consent this idea.
What I don't get, and maybe I'm being naive here. Well, for sure I'm being naive here. I think Putin, even though he's a ruthless guy, he's kind of logical. And I'm guessing, and this is a wild guess, that he wants the best for Russia.
No.
So
I mean, he wants the best for himself.
Wouldn't this help Russia as well? If they became a more like, because this is the thing about the US, that what they did really worked. So, you know, if you're in an exam and you copy the guy who gets the good grades, it's not such a silly thing to do.
But the thing is that Putin wants the power and wants the money. He rules everything. And in America, despite who is the president doesn't rule everything. The president cannot, even now, for example, the president cannot say, like, send these weapons to Ukraine without the Congress. So Putin doesn't want that. This is good for Russia, maybe, but it's not good for him because he rules the country as a mafia guy. And when you're a mafia guy, everything gets solved by violence. And if you want the best for Russia, you don't send all your people to get slaughtered and this war or
makes sense. Yeah.
So
he thinks he has the right view. I'm guessing. I'm trying to give him his due. He thinks my way is the right way, and I'm going to put my way whatever means necessary. If I have to give somebody a tea with a special sauce, I'm going to do that and screw everybody else. Because I'm guessing he has a vision of like let's call it a glorious Russia or something like that. It's not just me, power, money. I don't know. I'm not in the guy's head, but I'm guessing.
But he wants a glorious Russia in the mind of the Russians.
Like imperial. Then.
But, for example, Russia looks strong, let's say, because they are starting to get momentum, starting to win. But at which cost? So how many people died there? And also, in this case, it's not about killing a single opponent or something. Of course, you have to do that because when you're a strong man, when you project this sense of power, you cannot let any idea of weakness go out in the public. And also, he's first got triggered by the the revolutions in North Africa when they killed Gaddafi. Gaddafi, yeah. They killed him, and he got really fucked up there because he said, okay, the Americans did this thing to kill this guy. Why they wouldn't do the same? And they do it shortly afterwards because, of course, through the non-governmental organization, the NGOs, they have this sort of influence in the culture of Ukraine. So they spread the culture of exactly freedom, this culture that it's... But they believe it. It's not only that they don't believe it, because it's safer if there is a democracy all over the place. And he thinks, okay, they weren't going to start a sort of a Slavic spring, you know, the Slavic
spring.
The Slavic revolution in Ukraine, in Belarus. And then in Russia, they're going to start wanting a revolution too. And he doesn't want to get killed, you know. because dictators, they live in only one way, their power, by dying, whether natural causes or not natural, but that's the way.
You know, I know, or I don't know, but my understanding about Gaddafi is that he was kind of a prick. But these videos of him when they killed him, I felt bad for the dude. He looks like, what's going on with the blood and everything? It's like, okay, damn, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, it's not all innocence here. There was a reason why the Western powers took care of him.
The problem is that there was no plan what to do afterwards. But yeah, so I think there is this parallel between the American origins as a United States through their really embedded idea of freedom and democracy and the power to the people, and also like the nowadays wars that we see. They're very similar, and I think that Americans should think about it when they don't want to help some country that it's on the way to become a democracy, to think about back in the days when